there was a report that was put out last week by the European Telco Association that essentially said, over the last 10 years, wired and wireless, we've spent 500 billion euros, and we're seeing very little of that profit. It's all going to the likes of, Netflix and Google and all of the IT companies who are driving the services. So their average revenue per user is flat, their costs are going up. So they're going, how do we monetize all this money that we spent? So network slicing, as you pointed out, says, I can take a portion of my spectrum and essentially isolate that and give someone a guaranteed quality of service. And now I can essentially, and whether it's an iPhone or whether it's another camera, now you can start doing real live contribution.
Yes.
And do that at low latency. And then you start looking at, the ability to create edge compute centers. And I mean, Evert's made in my opinion, a beautiful investment in Shot Tracker, which is a company that's tied to Verizon and AWS, and you look at what's going on there, now you can see how interactivity and all of this kind of comes together, and network slicing becomes a big chunk of that mechanism for them to enable a lot of these use cases.
So network slicing, I think to look at it is this way. When we had, wired connectivity, you have public internet connections, and then you have dedicated telco lines provided by the telco company. So, in Canada, you've got Bell, you've got public internet, but you also can get dedicated connections at, 500 times the cost, but guaranteed no packet recovery required and all that. I think 5G is going to offer the same thing. It's going to offer a very low cost, extremely mobile space where you're going to have connectivity over public internet 5G, and then a carved out piece for where they're going to make, their 70% of their revenue is by providing this wireless but still dedicated connectivity that is going to offer, again, lower latency, no congestion, so you don't need any ARQ mechanisms potentially, and you're able to get those unique applications that require that ultra low latency. You're going to be able to contribute over those spectrums, or a section of the spectrum that is going to be dedicated for that, and that's going to bring them a lot of money. Again, right now they're not even marketing it that way. I think they're just going off, anybody can get on 5G. Let's just talk about that. Don't worry about this is this cost, this is this section, this is this section. But very soon you'll start to see tiers of 5G service offered where again, regular versus premium, like AWS Direct Connects. That's part of the public internet, but carved out so that you can have dedicated bandwidth going into the cloud.